Mary Magdalene is mentioned in the Gospels a dozen times. She is the one from whom Jesus expelled 7 demons. So we can understand either she was ill or she was possessed by evil spirits. But from that event onward, she was a follower of Jesus and actually the leader of the women who ministered to Jesus and the apostles. So we can imagine that she would listen in to the teachings of Jesus when he gathered his 12 apostles together. And she and the women were providing for Jesus and the apostles as they traveled through the countryside. Who else would do the cooking? Who else would make the food necessary on a daily basis? So already she was among those who were truly committed to Jesus. And when Jesus was arrested and carried his cross and was nailed upon the cross on Calvary, who was there? Of the friends of Jesus, of the 12 apostles, only one remained, John. Mary Magdalene was there, along with Mary, the mother of Jesus. So Mary Magdalene was totally committed to Jesus, even in his agony and his dying. And we see today, as we celebrate her feast, she was chosen to be the first to encounter the risen Lord. What a wonderful privilege. She came to the tomb. She saw it was empty. She ran back to get Peter. He comes. Peter goes back with the other apostles, and then she's alone again. She will not leave the tomb. She doesn't want to be separated from Jesus. She came to complete what she had planned to be the finishing touches of the funeral rites that were hastily discontinued on Good Friday. But now she can encounter Jesus, the one who is risen in his glorified body. So why would it be that she didn't recognize Jesus all at once? Well, actually, she saw him die on the cross. She was there when he was put in the tomb. Her expectation was that she would come to the tomb and have great difficulty with the huge stone in front of the tomb. But now she comes and the stone is moved away. She has the shock of her life. But she will not leave the tomb. The apostles depart. And as she's looking into the darkness of the tomb, she's weeping. Her eyes are filled with tears. But Jesus actually is standing nearby and says, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She turns from the darkness into the bright sunlight. And whenever we change our vision from dark to light, there's a little bit of time to adjust. And her eyes are filled with tears. But only when Jesus says her name, Mary, then there is recognition. She is filled with joy. She runs to the apostles to announce, "I have seen the Lord." She is the apostle to the apostles. She's the first evangelizer. She's the first one to carry the good news. The Lord is risen. Alleluia. But those apostles are skeptical. They are doubtful. They don't believe. They would have to wait later in the day when the Lord risen would enter that upper room and announce, "Peace be with you," to them. So we honor Mary Magdalene, the first to announce the good news. Her audience, the 12 apostles, were doubtful and skeptical. So we see that as a pattern of how we announce the good news. Each and every one of us are called to evangelize. We've heard the phrase, the new evangelization, that different ways, new ways, can be utilized to share the good news. Years ago, at a deanery meeting at the parish, Bishop Worrell came to be at the meeting, and one of the priests raised his hand and said, "Bishop, what program or what process do you see to be the best way to evangelize?" And Bishop Worrell paused and said, "I think the best way is for person to person. So if somebody is in the backyard of their home doing chores and they see their neighbor across the way, well, that's time to strike up a conversation. It's time to share with the neighbor faith. So often we share socially, not too often we share faith." So that's what the bishop said many years ago. And so we see that's what Mary Magdalene did. It was person to person. So when we share the good news about how the Lord is in our lives and how we follow the Lord and how we love the Lord, when we do it as a personal witness, it has great power. So we ask that Mary Magdalene be our inspiration to, in our own way, to be apostles and proclaimers of the good news.